Hello, everybody. We are live from Los Angeles and wherever the hell Meech is right now because he is much more mobile and traveling than I am. Um, we are going to actually shift gears a little bit and talk about something that I haven't really planned or prepared for that matter, but Meech is really interested in talking about, which is one, a new Tudor release, which was announced, I think, already a couple of days ago, in collaboration with Jay Chu, this new Tudor 1926 Luna, a watch with moon phase indicator, which is something they're doing for the first time. And, Meech brought this up, saying that, maybe they're going in a direction that they might not quite be made out for. So we are going to talk about that at least for the next hour. And if you guys uh, send in questions, support the platform, we can even extend it with some other extracurricular stuff. How are you doing, Meech? It's been a while since you jumped on.
Yeah, that it has. That it has. It's not easy trying to manage an empire. There's a lot of chaos, a lot of politics, definitely a lot of meetings that you have to attend to, shareholder meetings, just construction meetings, and it's laborious work. But hey, somebody has to do it.
The Galactic Senate, huh?
Hmm.
Well, so just suspend it. You don't even need it if you are really an emperor.
Oh, well, no, no. You need to have the illusion. You need to have panache.
That's great. Robert, nice to see you as well. Good evening to you. Although again, it's late at night and possibly morning wherever you are. Um, yeah, so let's pull up the release first of all. A collaboration as magnificent as a resplendent full moon lighting up the night sky. Working with Tudor's designers for the second time, brand ambassador Jay Chu brought his magic and unique style to the design of the new Tudor 1926 Luna. So we are at least made to believe that he designed this. Okay, why not? I think, as far as I know, he's a singer and an actor, so not really a watch designer. Um, but he looks very convincingly there to the case that he holds. So you can certainly see him conjuring up something. Quite honestly, Meech, just to start it off, and I'm sure you will have something to say about this. To me, this looks like a Nomos rather than Tudor. It certainly doesn't look like Tudor. We can decide on what it looks like ultimately.
No, I'd agree. It's very run of the mill, very generic. It's got that micro brand look to it, really. Not a lot of thought, or rather, just not a lot of pageantry, if that's the right word there, going there, coming from Tudor for something that's
Mhm.
supposed to be elegant in a work of craftsmanship and art.
Yeah, because this is an existing line within Tudor, if I'm not mistaken, the 1926 specifically. Um, it's kind of an aesthetic that usually mixes together something like you said, a very minimalist dress watch slash field watch. Arabic numerals alternating with indices. It's a very plain Jane piece. Um, I mean, what's the idea here? Maybe we are missing something because we are not. Um, I mean, I'm not Chinese. Maybe you are. I've never quite figured out. But
Uh, that is a mystery in itself, honestly. Entire episode needs to be done on that alone.
Okay.
But no, as you've kind of, to kind of reiterate what you said here, yeah, I mean, the 1926 line is, I've always found it to be supposed to be more of their quote unquote dress line, really. It's, they're thinner, they're a little bit more daintier. Um,
Hmm.
and, when you start to kind of factor in that they're trying to do a moon phase here with this line here, it's an interesting choice, honestly. And I can't remember if the 1926 line had the day date kind of mock up or not. It really is a line for Tudor that really just it doesn't get any light. And it's just never been one that's really wowed that particular fan base here. And that kind of leads me into my ultimate question here is, what is Tudor actually trying to achieve here? If we look back on a few of their watches here, they really made some oddball decisions here. Obviously, the sports watches kind of take the cake here, but it seems like Tudor's really trying to push this agenda of, well, hey, we're going to start becoming a more premium luxury brand. Now, I think personally, Tudor in itself at this point in time is really nothing special anymore. I've stated this already. I don't
Well,
think Tudor's a really luxury
yeah,
brand anymore.
let's track back a little bit. I not that I disagree with anything you said, but I think it might be helpful to unpack because there is a there's a conundrum here a little bit because even if we might think of that future direction in a little bit, where they're heading, whether they're um, trying to claim being like a true luxury brand, the 1926 series, the reason it doesn't get much of the spotlight that surrounds the rest of Tudor, which has, like you said, lost most of its luster and hype that it had gained in the post-pandemic era. I'm not necessarily contesting that. But 1926 has been beyond its aesthetics, is also their, I don't know their price list. So I got to be honest here, but it is one of their entry level pieces. And it actually lacks too some of the distinctive points of their offerings because most of the rest of Tudor's line uses uh, at least what we would call manufacturer movements, right? And now that Kenisi has been brought in-house into their new manufacturer, they're practically using their own movements for most of the line, whereas for 1926, and this is still the case with the Luna, with the new version with the moon phase indicator. They're using a Selita-based, quite generic movement with certain modifications. So whether that points them in a more luxury direction, I think is already quite open to question there. I think, if I may propose one way of reading it is we were just talking when Oz was on the panel yesterday, we were talking a lot about AP and how people love calling it a one watch brand. And that's a common sense that, gets repeated and reproduced so easily that people don't even probe into it. And I'm not saying necessarily at the level of AP, but at the level of every other brand, right? Most other brands, unless we are talking about your favorite brand, Cartier, really have one good watch, and everything else they have in the catalog, if it's any good, is a variation of that watch, right? And Rolex and Tudor are guilty of this too, right? Tudor has Black Bay, Rolex has Oyster Perpetual, and they use that base to spruce it up and complicate it and modify it in certain ways to have an entire catalog. And there's Tudor. trying something different, and we are already bashing it the way we have been bashing Rolex for, having its Cellini line, and then having 1908, and then, having now the Land Dweller. And I'm talking in a very general term, right?
Mhm.
In general terms, I should say. I didn't personally bash these brands, but that's our kind of um, knee-jerk reaction, right? On the one hand, we blame these brands for making the same thing over and over and not innovating and not coming up with anything new. And the minute they try something new, we are ready to, you know, beat them down and say, hey, it's not, you shouldn't be doing that. That doesn't fit your brand identity. Thank you, Ryan Offrey, for becoming a member. And Basil, Patek, Chris, Ryan, it's great to see you all as well. But yeah, what do you think? Because again, it's 1926 is actually one of the furthest, is part of the Tudor catalog that is perhaps at furthest remove from quote unquote true luxury, if you really think about it.
No, I do concur, honestly, and just to kind of again, just kind of repeat what you've already stated here. The 1928, is supposed to be more their dress line here at a more affordable price. I believe they kind of range from like 3,200 to about 4 grand, depending on which size you get. But this watch is a bit of a conundrum here when you think about, what you're going to spend there, because it really does compete or clash again with the Tudor Black Bay 36, which personally I think is a better, in my opinion, a better dress watch overall. It's got the better bracelet, better clasp. It's more unique, or maybe not, excuse me, not unique, more versatile to be a dress watch. It really is kind of their version of the Explorer. But that's an entirely separate, alley to walk down here. This 1928 here, it's had its, I believe it got I want to say an update. Um, I want to say about 3 years ago here. And it
Mhm.
just, yeah, as you stated here, it's a brand that just sits there in the way back of the catalog. I'd say honestly, the 1928 probably is more in comparison to the Constellation and Omega's catalog, where sure people know about it, but nobody cares about it ultimately in the end.
Hey
Good,
Oz,
good day,
how are you
gentlemen.
doing, man?
You got Tudor up on screen. You're summoning the boogeyman.
Oh, I'm very happy to have you on board as always, man. You know that.
And
Mainly,
congratulations, Oz, on your new acquired tutor piece. We look forward to seeing it.
thank you.
You are
Things
you
are
are
very
back home.
affordable.
You are back home from the event, right?
Yes, yeah. I'm
Ah, so you
happily back.
you have you have the you have the
The
box.
acquisition, yeah. We got
Amazing.
the new box. Although I'm not gonna break that out of the bag. It never touched the
No, no,
box, of
no,
course.
no. We have to tease it more, but especially for your own channel. But even if you are going to show it here, we have to, you know, we're not going to give it away so quickly. Um, no, that was a good pose. Wait, see, I like this. This is always great.
I like this. Somehow they've made this very appealing. The 1926 and the Luna. That I think this is really nice. Like just straight out of the gate, it's really nice.
You you
Jesus
can't you
Christ,
can't be
man.
you can't be this predictable, Oz. I mean, okay, go on.
No, it's actually not. I think the 1926 has always been nice, especially the white dial with blue indices.
Okay,
But is there like a good reason to get one? Is it striking? Well, not really. It's there's no complication in it, so there's nothing really that interesting about it. But this is actually interesting. I mean, yeah, moon phase is hardly the newest, most crazy complication you could do. It's just there aren't actually that many moon phases in most, how do you say, catalogs. So it's kind of
yeah.
cool.
At the price point, I was in terms of thinking about the aesthetic um, of the piece of the Tudor 1926 line.
Hmm.
Um, to me, it's very much again, it looks like a very minimalist piece, part field watch, part dress watch, kind of, again, when I first look at it, if I don't think much about it, if I wish away the logo, I might think for a moment that it's Nomos rather than Tudor,
Right.
so it doesn't strike me like that immediately.
Yeah. It's a little bit vacant. So it's minimalist. It's a little bit vacant, and then you're left
Yeah.
sort of staring at the bracelet and like, is this the best bracelet? Well, like, clearly it's not. It's not a bad bracelet. It's just like, is this what's going to grab me about the watch? But I think with the moon phase, it sort of changes it very quickly.
That being said, what it actually reminds me of as a project, as an offering, is, of course, like the closest competitor that it would have is a Longines.
Yes.
And it's
my
like,
friend actually just bought the Longines moon phase. Literally just bought it like last month.
so we have the three options they have here: 39 millimeter case, the blue dial, the kind of bronze, salmon, champagne, and then the black, right? And then Longines has a bunch of dress watches in various sizes, but let's choose something that's like, man. Let's go for
An automatic.
and 39 if we can choose, but I think it has already brought us there, but maybe we should move away from some of the other complications. Let's see if we can eliminate that. Well, let's just choose moon phase.
I haven't been able to find a way to eliminate it.
But this is, for example, a good competitor.
Yes. Yeah, I think this is, I mean, not the diamonds, but this is roughly what my friend purchased, just out of his own. He just wants something that looks nice. He knows it's not, the level at which it's the be all end all, but he's happy enough to roll around with his rich in-laws.
And honestly, at that, I didn't mean to really choose the one with diamonds, but I guess this is.
I couldn't easily find one without, so I don't really know.
Well, this is it. This is it. We got it. Longines Master Collection, moon phase, blue dial.
Yeah, and this is more expensive and no bracelet.
They do have bracelet options.
Oh, sure. Oh, interesting.
And it's basically the same price.
That's interesting.
$27.50.
Yeah, that's interesting that you could slide into a bracelet with no change in price.
I don't want to bash it, but I'm not gonna say it's the highest quality bracelet really at that price point. But
that's an interesting point, because I think Tudor's bracelets are pretty near the top. Like, they're better than Grand Seiko in terms of bracelets.
Would you say that about the 1926 bracelet as well?
But yeah, but that's the one thing I have to caveat. I haven't had a close look at 1926 bracelets.
Those bracelets are okay. They're very thin. They're almost like a beads of rice bracelet.
Mhm.
And they're dainty. Yeah, maybe that's not the right word, but they're almost designed to be like just a bracelet meant for a dress watch.
I mean, there's no, again, it's at some level it's a style, right? So I don't necessarily bash that, and maybe because of that style, a cheaper bracelet maybe doesn't feel all that cheap. But this Longines bracelets are decent for the price point as well. Again, it's not the best that you have felt, and certainly it's not something that necessarily merits a markup, even in on their own terms. But honestly, when I look at this watch, I feel there's a little more cohesion in terms of the design. I feel like it's a little more thoughtfully put together. maybe it's just my own biases because I hate date windows and I would much rather have a pointer date, and that just wraps itself so nicely around the opening for that moon phase indicator.
It's nice. What's interesting is their end links are doing what the Rolex kind of does on some of their Daytonas in the last generation, where the end links are bigger than the where they're mating
Right
up.
here,
And
you mean?
honestly,
Yeah.
it kind of looks nice. There's nothing wrong with it. Like it actually looks nice.
Yeah, and again, it's not just one look. They have a few variations. They have like the black one with kind of like an embossed dial and Roman numerals. They have a white one with diamonds, a black one with diamonds, um, with like kind of a glossy dial, and I think they also had one with Arabic numerals for the white. So it's not
That's
it's not
nice.
maybe as coherent. Um,
What's honestly funny is I gravitate to the one that looks the most like a Tudor, but
huh? Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah. You
gravitate
you
the
did
one with a textured
that.
dial with the
That's right.
indices that are not, so it is kind of funny. But I tell you where I make a miscalculation. The MSRP of this is more than the Tudor, but you're gonna find it harder to find places that'll discount a Tudor, while the Longines, I'm sure you'll find lots of
But wait,
discounts.
it's not actually because it's 2750.
Isn't the Tudor like 20?
Tudor is the 28. So it's
Oh,
basically the
okay.
same.
Okay, Tudor watch.
It's basically the
Okay.
same. The
Yeah, yeah.
96 Luna. You see?
I'll just go on a limb and say the Longines is probably going to retain its retention probably a lot better than the 1926. I did remember seeing a previous generation of a Tudor 1926, and they wanted that. I think they barely wanted $1,200 for it. Um, I'd probably take the Longines ultimately. Better ROI.
Not sure if I would even look for return of investment at this category, especially.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
certainly not. You're going to
Under
get pennies back. I mean, these are penny
3,000
stocks.
retail,
But
but
going back to what Ozzy said as well, that there is, I think it's easier to get discounts on a Longines piece than Tudor necessarily. Although I think Oz mostly deals with Tudor boutique, which possibly makes it harder. Whereas, and he gets
it's different markets. It
these
always is.
boutique exclusive, uh, all
Pieces.
also limited models by them. So it's a little different than the poor 1926, which you can possibly get at a discount um, from a retailer, from an authorized dealer, rather than a boutique. Although, again, maybe kind of tracking back to what we started, where we started this discussion, clearly Tudor, having started on this path more than a decade ago now, with their US revival, with their global revival, really, they are trying to become a brand in their own right. They're trying to walk on their own 2 feet. Obviously, they are not denying the fact that the great majority of the designs on their catalog is um, tapping into the same legacy pool of designs and of the larger aesthetic that they share with Rolex. But they have also been consciously trying to expand their own catalog and put out distinctive pieces that are one, different from Rolex, and two, um, kind of distance their identity away from what they once were, which was literally a more affordable version of Rolex. These are these. Good morning from the sovereign state of Israel in the official currency
G'day.
of the channel, 6 shekels.
G'day.
Thank you.
Yeah. I wonder, so even if these are not like the what are they, the Daring collection, which are, you know, quote unquote safeguarded and quite limited.
Hmm.
Tudor have always been actually pretty good at creating scarcity hype in the first year of a watch's launch.
Right.
There's only very few that sort of missed the mark, and they sort of came out the gate and they were like big flops right out of the gate, and they can't get rid of them. I mean, this watch, for instance, big flop, but the any of the MN Pelagoses were actually not flops at all, except the GMT when it came out, the FXD GMT. I was talking to the Tudor director, and yeah, it just seemed like there was no energy for it. Like there was no real hype at all. But these days, you cannot get an FXD GMT. It's that simple.
Oz, you need to. The world is a lot bigger than Vegas here. You know,
No, but you look
around
at
here they
secondary
sit in the
prices.
case.
They're all north of MSRP. The FXD GMT. Like I don't doubt you can get one, especially in your market. Your market has always been very weak on Tudor, as best as I can tell.
Yeah, because nobody wants to be seen wearing them.
The
None of the
this
rednecks want a Tudor. They got too much cash.
this says this Tudor is ghastly.
Guys, okay, this.
And Piruka, by the way, Swiss, previously said it's a Tudor Constant, like the Frédéric Constant, I think is the reference. It's Tudor et Mercier, like Baume et Mercier. It's Tudor and Ross, like Bell and Ross. Not bad. Tudor, Toder, Foon Maze.
Foon Maze.
Bon,
We need more streams where Swiss comes on. I mean,
yeah, I think
I haven't heard his voice in a long time.
yeah, and Cena's lovely face, right? You know, the guy literally looks like a messiah. So
I was hoping to catch up with him in Geneva, but you know he didn't appear on any streams. There was no way to catch up.
I don't know if he was actually in Geneva.
I
At
just
the time.
imagine he might come in for Watches and Wonders if
Makes
he was
sense.
in.
By the way, people, please hit the like button. All right, there we go.
Hey, I'm not Swiss, but maybe it will do.
G'day, Des. It's been a while.
Well, you're also looking good. This.
Thank you.
It's nice to
Oh,
see
I
you.
got to turn the air conditioning up. Bloody getting hot.
Oh, is it because this came in?
No, it's bloody 80 degrees still here in Las Vegas.
It's crazy. Yeah. What do you really think? This tell us what you think of this release.
I do think it's ghastly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's too. I don't know, it's like too round, like a hockey puck. I don't know. It seems. I don't like it. I guess nothing smart to say about it. Just
No, I mean it doesn't have to be smart at all. Just speak your mind.
also the date is kind of. I don't think you need the date. Kind of takes away from the flow, the aesthetic flow.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
That makes absolute
makes
sense.
sense.
That's why that was one of the main reasons why I said I kind of prefer the way Longines does this, because the pointer date ends up just encircling the moon phase indicator, and it's as if it's not there. You get the utility without disrupting the design harmony of the dial.
What's the diameter?
The what?
The diameter. How big is it?
39 millimeter.
Oh, that's too big, I think, for this style. I mean,
I also don't disagree with that, but go ahead.
They have
Oz.
1926s in smaller sizes, but this moon phase is 39 only.
They might shrink it down in a future release, but
So what's the movement in here? So have they ditched the ADA movement?
no, it is basically ETA. It's a Celita SW280-1, which is here called Tudor T607-9.
I'm shocked they did a release with so little fanfare. Tudor have been pretty good at these sort of odd calendar releases, although they do release something every time this year at this time of year at this point.
To be fair, Oz, we might not be the audience, right? Because we are talking about a collaboration with
Jay Chow,
Jay Chow, who I mean, again, I don't want to get into the politics, but he's Taiwanese. I said Chinese before, so hopefully no one was offended. I mean, I grew up in a time where Taiwan itself was also quite strongly calling itself China. So,
I believe it's still PRC, isn't it?
I think so. Yeah. No comment. Look, I mean, I'm not gonna go one way or another. We don't take the side of one China policy or.
I know. When I was in my father-in-law's new BYD, that Chinese vehicle, when I was in his new BYD, you can talk to it. So they got voice activation. So I said, "Hey, BYD, Taiwan #1, Taiwan #1."
Seriously?
And then I asked my father-in-law, "It's like, how safe do you feel now? How safe do you feel now driving?" Taiwan #1. Taiwan #1.
Social credit go up, up, up.
Like, did they leave some of the software in there? The social credit score? It's like,
I'm more designer, and
sorry for you. Braking distance was now increased by double.
Look, again, I think overall, I understand why they are doing it. It's at an accessible price point. It does add something to the catalog that they didn't have, and they are really trying to diversify their catalog. I mean, God, even Rolex, and we touched on this too, Oz. I mean, we had a pretty wide-ranging discussion last night, so I do appreciate that you stayed on for the entire thing. But yeah, even Rolex released two watches that are quite different from whatever else they have in their catalog just in the last 2 years. So there's clearly an effort to, for both brands to have something that appeals to just about anyone in their offerings, but also on the side of Tudor, they are trying pretty hard to be different from Rolex. But, as Piruka has been bashing them, as Swiss has been bashing them in the chat, they might end up perhaps creating watches that are a little bit too generic still in terms of how they relate to other brands' releases, and especially here, the direct competitor is Longines, both in terms of the price point and in terms of the complication as well. And Longines is, by the way, it's 40 millimeter Longines, so that's a smidgen bigger, maybe.
One way you could look at it is that sort of inflation has sort of forced the brand into $3,500 plus category. I remember when the Ranger came out just a few years ago, it was like literally $3,000 on the nose. Now it's a few $100s above that, and they're sort of moving outside of a customer who's price sensitive's wheelhouse. Like it's just moving away, and as the watches like the Pelagos, the full blood Pelagos moves up towards $5,000.
This is amazing. Mish, you will like this. J'adore Tudor. This is their new luxury statement. They're just like Dior now.
And they need to fill out this entry level price again with swill, basically. Yeah. This is how CPI is calculated. They take a look at what people are buying, and they're buying like 2 ribeye steaks a week. And then as that gets too expensive, they have to substitute in slop. And so you got to
Look, you're
This is how
absolutely right.
inflation works.
You know, I cover the GPHG here, you know, on a yearly basis, and there's a reason they have that challenge category that's anything below $3,500. That's in Swiss francs rather than dollars, so it's a little bit more. But yeah, certainly when you are making an entry level watch, there's a science to it, right? They don't come up with these price points, you know, just pulling numbers out of thin air. There is certainly a concerted effort to have something at, you know, that is more accessible. And I think that's sometimes also the case when these kinds of brands collaborate with celebrities, with known names, because they want something that people can actually buy. And
Talking
you know,
about
the more people
celebrities,
buy it,
Basil's Bezels has a super chat for you.
nice. Bezels, just wait for the pink and baby blue ones to come out.
Yeah, here
By
we
the way,
go.
guys, we had a very humble super chat goal. 4 more super chats like this, and we can stay on until midnight. At least I can.
And
So,
we've got an unboxing. I mean, this is just a watch roll, but new watch.
new watch inside
Believe me, it's worth it. Believe me, it's worth it.
the watch
Trust
roll,
me.
or
Like, I will not, like, no, to see the watch. See
you
the
have a
watch.
watch in there?
Well, a few, yes, but the new one picked up tonight. Yeah.
Oh, we
Well,
might see that tonight.
we
Yeah.
must see that tonight.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
This is
Well, I mean, guys, that's a big one. So if
Well, young Brand, I'll pay you not to see it tonight.
Believe
How's
me,
that?
guys, this isn't
Okay.
just like a Samara or something.
I'm open to negotiating. So if you
I want to
drop,
take the wind out of
if
Oz's
you
sails tonight.
please, if
Hey,
you do,
I'm a dad. I can just go to bed. I'm always
Mitch,
catching up on sleep.
if you drop a $25 super chat, you're the better deal.
$25. That's all it took on.
I'm happy for Brando if that's the direction it needs to go.
Look, I mean, I hate to see you go, Oz, but I'm very pliable. But no, I mean, joking aside, again, the super chat goal itself is quite humble. We just need 4 more super chats, so $4.99 or more, and we are going to see Ozzy's new watch. And it is actually, you know, we are giving it away quite cheaply, I think, because it's a heavyweight watch. It's truly a heavyweight piece. No offense to Tudor, but it's no Tudor 1926 Luna. I will tell you that.
It's the most. It is now easily the most valuable watch in my family's collection.
Whoa.
I think that's true in terms of market value.
And and MSRP too, actually. I think, or at least when I paid MSRP.
So Piruka says, I think young Brando should get the Tudor to go. It would go well with its shirt. You know, actually, these kinds of shirts have some great memories with me, and I sometimes make a point of wearing a yellow shirt because for a long time, and still in large part, my wardrobe is basically my high school uniform, but according to my taste, right? So I can wear whatever jacket I want, whatever color of shirt, whatever tie, or not even wear a tie. I mean, it's like freedom. But I've always detested wearing a yellow shirt because that was part of the uniform. You couldn't wear any other color. It had to be yellow because it was one of the school's colors. So now, you know, now that I got over that trauma, I wear yellow shirts without feeling constricted by it. So that actually uh, is quite meaningful to me.
Mm.
But yeah, my what's the verdict, guys? Because my verdict, and I will repeat it in a bit, is pretty much set on this series. So what do we think? Let's go one by one for Tudor 1926.
I'm at top here. First of all, I do like the indices, as in I'm used to seeing only loomed indices, and
Mhm.
the black indices are very very fetching, and the gold indices are very fetching. I'd be tempted to go for the gold dial with black indices. I think that color combo is really nice. I could be sold if I saw this in person. I could be sold. Yeah, that's it's possible because I've got too many sport watches. Yeah, it could happen. It could happen.
Okay, so I'm actually starting a new goal. 5 super chats of $5 or more for the next 45 minutes. Unboxing Oz's new watch. Uh, quick Mark Gebauer story as well. Um, I actually ran into a German speaking person quite randomly on the plane, and we started talking. And that person tells me, "Oh, you should really follow Mark Gebauer." And I was like, "I don't even know who that is." And he showed me a couple of videos and whatever. And then I pulled out my phone to go on my Instagram to follow Mark Gebauer and saw that he's following me. I still haven't followed him back, so we will have
That's
my
petty.
He lives in Las Vegas now.
we will have my supremacy for a little bit. Hey man, I have to enjoy my small victories in this life. I'm really quite miserable, Meech. So let me enjoy the fact that Mark Gebauer follows me without me yet following him back.
Yeah, he lives in Vegas now, which is cool.
That's what I heard, and I have another rumor actually, but I'm not going to breach that because it might be kind of impinging on his private life a little bit, but it's kind of what we were talking behind the scenes, Mitch.
No, yeah.
Yeah, actually. Um, yeah, so Ozzy says he might actually end up buying one. And of course, he has to say that because they will certainly push one of these to him. And he will have to say yes. So he has to pretend
I
that
was
he
gonna say,
actually
it
liked it.
seems for Oz, it's more of an obligation really than an option at this point.
Mm-hmm. They're only asking which one do I want.
Exactly.
It's like which color, you know, which one's a good one for you.
Oh, let
I'll
me
be
go.
right back. I'll go get the actual box, even though the watch never sat in the box.
Okay.
I'll go get the box just to build up hype. Okay,
Okay,
so I'm
Dark
not
Child
confusing
says
anyone.
Mark Gebauer is a real nice one, and he says I'm from Austria, Vienna. I remember Dark. I remember you in the chat. We were talking about. Um, I think it was in the context of Hublink that we were talking about Austria a little bit, and you happened to be in the chat, and you kind of informed us of a couple of details. Or was it Kazuchi und Söhne, one or the other? Um, okay, Meech, what's your verdict on the Tudor 1926?
I think it opens up um a door to more questions here. The three questions I have ultimately with this watch here is, what is Tudor attempting to try and push here? Because if you look at Tudor's like overall here, they've released a gold watch that flopped, and then they tried to release it again with a full gold bracelet. And I don't imagine those numbers are doing much better here.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like you said, it seems like they're trying to target a very niche demographic here, especially with the Blue Lagoon. Um, and now we have this here. It seems like Tudor's really trying to push this, trying to push forward here and saying like, hey, we can create very obscure luxury watches here that is going to make you try and draw away from, say, hypothetically, I don't know, like Rolex is 1908 or whatever, just they're trying to present themselves as that option here, and I just don't see if Tudor will ever get to that point. You
Guys, you
know,
see, I told you it's quality. So it's Rolex. It has the coronet on it. So you want to see it. Um, you show some support. It is a really interesting piece. Well, Mitch, I actually, I wasn't expecting you to be so charitable, so generous in your assessment of it at the end, because you basically started on the other end of the spectrum. And I want to go back to what I said there. It's I find it unfair from judging myself here, including myself in the group. We always bash brands for being a one watch brand. And usually AP gets the short end of the stick here, but you can make similar arguments about brands like Rolex and Tudor too, right? For Tudor, practically everything on their lineup and basically everything desirable is a Black Bay. It's some iteration of Black Bay, either with an added complication or with an aesthetic that changes either with dial color or bezel option or whatever else. So it feels unfair and to a certain extent hypocritical for me to both do that and then also um, then also criticize them whenever they come up with something new. And I want to also say that I talk to a lot of people on a regular basis. As much as I talk to collectors, I also talk to people who are sales associates, who work in auction houses. And I know they love latching onto these cultural elements um, when they're trying to make a certain sale or try to warm their customer or open their customer up to a certain watch. And I know people who talk to their Muslim customers, this moon phase indicator, it would be a nice option if you're following the lunar calendar in one way. And it's obviously not a coincidence that they are collaborating with a Taiwanese celebrity when they're introducing a moon phase to the watch. So there's it's a very thoughtful, concerted effort when you think about the marketing aspect of it. Um, it does add something to their lineup that hasn't been there, and that distinguishes them um, further from Rolex. Now, I do also want to say, um, and this I will be repeating again something I said. I understand they wanted to make it accessible, especially in a collaboration with a celebrity. Unless you are like a high horology brand, you want to actually sell these pieces and sell as many as possible. So I don't resent them for that, but to choose a part of their lineup that strays away so much from everything else in terms of like still using a very generic movement, for example. I'm not sure if that's the right way to go about it. And at that price point, with that similar complication, I'd much rather go with the Longines Master Moon Phase. That's just it. And again, I have a small wrist. I know it would probably look bigger on my wrist than the Tudor 1926, but that still, to me, seems a better designed watch.
Are you saying that if you get the Longines, if you buy like two of them, you'll get a Snoopy or something?
I'm not. I'm also not interested in Omega. So if I buy any of these watches, it would be purely for the watch itself. So I'm thinking about that hypothetical question. Really, it's not nothing more, nothing less.
But because if you buy the Tudor, you can get a Rolex. I mean, that's a pretty good deal.
not
That's
really.
pretty.
How's that been working out for you, Oz?
Oh, we'll find out. We'll find out. My
Coming
last
up on two
purchase
years
was
now.
was was the Black Bay 54.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, I
Would
just
like
feel
to.
yeah, I just feel like this is just a much better design.
Yeah.
This is very pretty. This is very pretty.
Mhm. It is. It's more it's like
What
I
do you
can go.
think? What do you think this ultimately? What do you think about the Tudor
Uh,
1926 Luna?
yeah, the 1926 Peruca sets. We said it gets a rating of a Frederic Constant, and he nails it on the head. Like I don't know. That's what I thought about. It's like a mole watch. It looks like a mole watch to me.
Hmm.
I'm sorry. Yeah. But you're right. Like we've criticized them, but they're always Black Bay and Pelagos, and then they do something else. I guess they did their research and marketing, and they have like a market for this.
Well, they're
Doesn't do
very
anything
clear
to
about the
me.
market for this. I mean, the text, the copy is about the Mid Autumn Festival. It's a very important time of year for
Yeah,
Chinese
and
families.
according to a lunar calendar, am I wrong?
Yeah, that's 100% it. And so there's a lot to do with the moon and visiting family and stuff like that. It's an emotional season, so it's interesting to be able to tie a watch to that, and they've chosen the right complication for it. It's like it's and the right ambassador, you know.
Mhm.
It's it's a good touch. I think this will actually
Fine.
work, quote unquote. I think it'll fly.
Well, that leads me into my next question here. Let's just say, because it does. I mean, it's clearly obvious who just trying to, like I said, source a certain crowd here. And if they do get the results that they are more or less yearning for here, not to do a play on words, but how daring here is Tudor willing to get here? They've, as far as are we at some point here, are we going to see a random, Retropont, a tourbillon, and will people actually start to kind of go for it, or is Tudor kind of more or less, I think I've said this before. Tudor still has and always will be the poor man's Rolex. It is still marketed that way here. When you talk to the reps, they will casually walk you down to the Tudor rep and always kind of word it. It's the more affordable alternative here. So to be spending that kind of money here on, say, hypothetically here, like Tudor does an official dress watch in a tank style case,
Mm.
with a more complex complication here. How successful would it be, and would it actually be the thing that starts to separate Tudor from the shadows of Rolex here, or are they just kind of more or less in a perpetual loop here of just flopping on something that in some cases might be unique?
Mm.
Nice. So Patek Chris, 899 New Zealand dollars to hold the panel. Build your Rolex only 250,000 USD collection. Current models only. Retail prices, not secondary.
Hmm. I can do that.
Swiss is so smart. He
I
just
can.
says, "I would get 15 Daytonas." Obviously, that's not what he is asking here. But yeah, maybe that's
That's
the
not. That's unfortunately, he's very smart.
financially responsible decision. That, by the way, I think ticks off one of our super chats. So we have four more for the unboxing, and a little more than 30 minutes to go. Not unlimited time, just so you guys know.
This question's almost going to make me cry. I was gonna say I add the one that I don't have in the collection, and then I can cull the ones out of the collection I don't need yet. I realize my part of the collection isn't actually worth that much.
So, well, let's go there. You have jumped the gun and you said that's easy. I will do it. So you go first in that case.
Yeah. So yeah, platinum Daytona, yellow gold
Platinum
Daytona.
Daytona. Wait, I'm not going to interrupt. Start from the beginning.
Yeah, platinum Daytona, yellow gold Daytona. Uh, geez, I can't say Hulk because he wants current catalog.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just say Submariner in green. Then Pepsi, Explorer 2 Polar, Air King, Explorer 36. I've run out of money. You can't spend that much money at Rolex, apparently.
Okay, let's
can't even get there.
let's actually calculate. So yellow gold on the bracelet would be 48,400.
Yeah.
Platinum would be.
I think it's like 84, something like that.
You want the diamonds? Is that
No.
what it is?
Okay, so there's 80.
Yeah, 79,300.
The problem is you have to to get that much value. You really need to go a lot more gold than I would be inclined to get. Because
And
you could get all of the steals at this point, like with those two precious metals in the collection.
Oh, for two
You
hundred
could say,
fifty
I just want
thousand.
all
Yeah.
of the steals, just all of them, and it still wouldn't be 250,000.
Yeah, you'd have enough left over to go to the club afterwards.
Yeah, you would,
What
because
kind of
all the
club?
steals combined are only like 110,000, something like that, retail.
Yeah, and he did say retail.
Yeah, so it's 250,000. So that means you have to add a whole bunch more yellow gold. So I guess let's throw in yellow gold Le Mans as well. That's only another 52,000.
That's technically off catalog, but I'm sure he
Oh,
would
it
count
is?
that.
Okay. It used to be in catalog. So no, this is really tough. Like, I mean, you basically there's not even any selection process. It's more this question sort of boils down to, okay, you get all of the steel that you could possibly want, and then which precious metal pieces do you want? Like,
You know, I would
obviously. Go ahead.
I would actually, because also, my record here is impeccable. I've never bought anything at retail. And there's a reason for that. If I would jump into it, and if we are talking about a dream scenario, I would literally go for all platinum. And I'm not just saying this to fill up the budget necessarily, but that it would have some sort of overall cohesion, right? Do we have the 36 in platinum? Yeah, we do.
Yeah. I have not been asking, like, I have not gotten my first platinum piece, but I have been dreaming of having all of the platinums.
Okay, so I would get this 36 platinum.
Is it like 100 and... Oh, it's 95.
Literally 95,750.
Oh, because you went 36 millimeter. Is the 40 much more expensive?
No, I wasn't thinking mathematically, but probably I've tried the 40 on my wrist and it feels a little too big to me on my wrist. If it were 39, I would be much more happy with it, but I would rather go smaller than larger. So we have basically 100K covered there. I would go obviously with the Platinum Daytona. And I mean, you basically know the price on that, Oz. You can enlighten me. But
I think we just looked it up. It was like
I want to see
79.
I want to see whether we can swing the gem set dial for that as well. Yeah, we can. 85.
So I got another 70. So you could throw in the Platinum Day Date if you want.
Yeah, I think that's about
three piece, or just go all platinum. I think that makes sense. That would be lovely. It would be lovely.
So we have been 100, 180 and change, basically. Can we get the 1908 as well? No.
I think you can. It'll be close, but I think you can.
So platinum, no diamonds on that, just the ice blue dial.
They don't do the waffle dial anymore, do they?
No, that was beautiful. That's kind of a honeycomb in and of itself, right? So 65 here. What did we do? 185, 65. We are there. That's it.
I'd say remove the diamonds from the land dweller and get the 1908 as well.
Yeah, we can do that. So yeah, we get. I mean, I would for the platinum collection, platinum land dweller 36, platinum Daytona with the baguette diamonds on the dial, date 840 with ice blue dial, fluted bezel, and the 1908 perpetual in platinum as well.
I think that would be awesome. I mean, the only real substitutions I think that would, you'd have to think about off catalog is whether or not the rainbow Daytona is still something you'd want. I don't think I want that anymore. It's kind of fun, the whole idea of a watch that's that obnoxious, but I don't think I would really actually want that anymore. Would I say no? I probably wouldn't, but there are things I'd pursue and things I wouldn't. 1908 platinum, I think, is gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous.
And it's not priced at
It
such
used
a
to be
bad
26.
point. Yeah.
It used to be 26.
Yeah.
I think. So I'm very disappointed I didn't get one of these early, but I don't think anyone's gotten any of these. I've seen like a couple of photos where people have gotten these, but like they're not floating around.
Patek Chris himself says one caveat for Oz: he's not allowed steel.
Not allowed steel.
And he also says I'd definitely get one of the new stone dial GMTs. Those are
Interesting.
cool too. I wanted to just have something cohesive, so I
I
would.
got to see the Carnelian
Uh-huh.
day date. That was very beautiful.
What about you? What would you go for if you were to build a $250,000 collection?
Whew. First, I will go for what I really want, which is Explorer 36. It's I mean, it's not a lot, in terms of getting to that sum, but I had the 5-digit one, and I would like the new one, the 36. Can you do the calculation, because I'm not good at math?
This is a rounding error still.
That's 7.5. So
Okay.
we are quite far away.
Yeah,
You don't have to worry about it
Explorer is
just
a
yet.
rounding error. It's not a.
Okay, let's say I wanted Datejust 41, white gold. Is that possible? Is that
Yeah, I think that's like 11.
okay?
Let's see.
What do you have?
You said?
Yeah, day
Yeah,
just.
Datejust.
Full Jubilee, blah blah blah. I think it's about 11.
Yeah, I have fluted. Bezel.
Bezel.
Which 41.
Yeah.
I don't know which we got the black dial.
So you're 18.5 with another
Okay.
230.
18.6.
Now I want a bluesy.
A bluesy, nice. What's that?
Yeah.
20,000 these days?
Let's check it out. So that adds.
I think it's like 18, but I mean, if you're rounding up, sure, 20.
They really pushed the price on. Oh, it's cheap. Plus 17.6.
17.6.
All right.
So
Now I want
36.
one of those new GMT masters. It's like two-tone GMT master. I don't remember.
The zombie.
Quite possibly. Let's see
Mhm.
what we have.
The Guinness.
I really like that one. It's quite. It's a landlord watch. Perfect watch.
Could you imagine a
So-
two-tone that was
Yes.
steel and white gold?
That's something AP would do. In the way they do, like titanium and bulk metallic glass, platinum and steel, tantalum and steel, and stuff like that. Yellow Rolazor or
Yes.
Everose? Okay,
That one.
150.
this one exactly.
Wait, what is over? Does it look the same? I don't know. Is it more money?
No, one's the root beer, one's the.
No, I don't want. I
Yeah,
don't like the
and
wood
there's a
seal.
Jubilee. It's fantastic. This in
This-
person is
Yes,
fantastic.
I
Although
love it.
full gold in this one is even better.
Okay, let's go full gold so we get the shekels.
Yellow gold. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right,
That's the way to go.
44. That's a real landlord watch.
It's
44,
at 44.
This is when
600,
I made it in America. After I
80.
get a green card.
Okay, you're at about 77,000 now.
Yeah,
It's the precious metal that hurts the budget.
call it
Okay.
80. Call it 80.
Batman. Okay, Batman.
Oh, that's cheap. That's 11,000. It's like
Yeah,
11
we make
or
it.
something. Especially if you're talking on Oyster.
Yeah,
11.1.
oyster, not blues.
Okay.
Bat girl. I
11.1.
just like it.
You're like at
Okay.
89.
Okay, Platona.
Platona. Okay, that's 79.
Yeah. So how much?
So you're at 167. You got another 90. Yeah, 80,000 left.
Okay, let's go for a day date. No, at the president. We have a president.
Yeah.
Okay, let's look at the
like
president.
46,000 or something.
But the precious gold. What do we have?
47.5. Do you want anything special here?
Let's look at what we have.
What material? What metal?
Yeah.
Yellow?
Mm-hmm. Weight gold, Everose gold. I'll go over the budget within platinum, right?
No, you can.
No,
you
you're
can
still
be above
there,
on
I think.
platinum.
Okay, so I want this one. Yeah, this one.
Mhm.
Black dial?
Yeah, perfect.
64, 600.
Yeah, I got you at 232.
232. I think
You
we're.
can throw in a couple more steel in there.
You
Yeah.
can get an Explorer too, I think.
Yeah, you can get an Explorer too.
I mean, they're too big for my taste, for my liking. But yeah, let's go for a Polo. Okay, let's go for a
Polo
Polo.
Explorer. That's actually
Yeah.
not cheap. I think it's
Oh,
11.
Really?
So
It
I
isn't
mean,
cheap. They increased the price just before I bought mine.
Shit.
A lot, like $1,500. They increased it.
but
It was like
that's still
17%.
for
Oh,
this
10
is budget.
okay.
It goes right 10,000.
That's still under budget. Yeah,
In the
10,000.
budget. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, let's go.
242. You're at. So you got $8,000 left.
We can get another Explorer 36 for load.
You
Why
got
not?
two Explorers.
Why not?
Okay. We did it. Thank
Two
you.
Explorers.
What about you, Meech? Do you wanna? Are you still bitter about Rolex, or would you go through this
I
challenge?
mean, either way, I'd fall well short of 250,000. Honestly,
There's really nothing you would want.
In precious metal.
Well, I mean, so there'd be 2 day dates, and so you'd have the rose gold with the chocolate dial, and then you'd have your traditional yellow gold with the champagne or yellow dial. And I'm assuming, I don't know, just based off of memory here, for 36 mil, I want to say they're around 48,000. Could be way off on both of those, but
No, it's cheaper.
So
I
chocolate
think you're like
48 500 is the Ever Rose.
Yeah, but he asked for 36 mil.
yeah.
He did. Oh, okay.
Mm.
That is cheaper.
So yeah, I think they're actually closer to 40, aren't they? Like they're
Yeah.
both pretty close to
Yeah.
40, but you
4,200.
figure in tax. Yeah, 4,200. Okay. So
No, I mean 40,200. I should say, just not to confuse. Yeah.
somewhere, just a little over 80 grand right there, just that off alone right there.
Yeah.
And I might choose, I'm probably one of the very few, honestly, in this category here. Certainly is a dark horse, I guess, in my opinion. But I like that root beer in solid rose gold with that lava dial. I actually kind of like it, honestly. I mean, it's obscure for sure. And I don't even know what the heck that goes for, honestly. But I'm willing to bet it's probably close
I
for
had
40.
the opportunity to try on the full yellow gold deep sea. It was amazing.
Was it?
Yeah, it's insane. It's completely insane.
Is it like a solid brick of gold, essentially? I mean, it has
Yeah.
to be, right?
It's crazy heavy.
There we
And the
go.
blue,
And
it's very appealing. It's just
this is 50.
yeah.
yeah, you're still just about halfway.
Yeah, so
one
what are we
one
like
thirty.
130 or something like
You
that,
Yeah,
you
give or
could
take?
you could also go for the Yachtmaster with Falcon's Eye. Sorry, let me
Yeah,
that's
just.
not interested in
discontinued now.
that.
That dial is discontinued, I think. The
No
Falcon's Eye.
way.
We can
That
double check, but
that
I think so.
basically didn't even exist.
Yeah, no,
I've not
I
even
seen
seen a
one.
single video of that.
I
It's
seen one in
going to be
person.
extremely rare in the future. I
Wow,
think, like, again, I remember looking at some point and it was no longer there.
that is crazy. And they even put it in the catalog. That is unreal. Was
Yeah,
the
you see?
Falcon's Eye on the 42 or was it on the 40?
It was only on
For-
the 42.
42 because white gold is only in 42.
Okay.
Yeah, you see, there's not even, at least in the catalog, there's no longer the
Wow.
option to choose
The
another
bloody
dial.
Falcon's Eye, huh? I don't think I've seen anything of that. Like I don't think I've got any evidence anyone has ever bought one.
I have a friend actually. You guys haven't met him on the channel, but I've talked a lot about him. Um, he was involved in giving the Ulysse Nardin to Bud Crawford before the Canelo fight. Um, the watch designer on Instagram, Jason, he has one. He has the white gold Falcon Eye um, Yachtmaster 42, and that is also the only one I've seen on a person's wrist, on a person whom I actually know in person. So it's pretty rare.
They're not even fetching crazy money. I'm seeing one here, some bullshit website, 56,000.
That's probably the kind of watch that, if it does fetch ever crazy amounts of premium, it will be in 10 years. Like people will actually start caring about it for one reason or another. It might. I'm not saying that like
It may
it's
never. I mean, it is
necessarily.
the Yachtmaster. I love the Yachtmaster, but I know that it's just not people's thing.
Patek Chris himself was saying that he would get the new series Black Dial stainless steel Daytona 126 500 LN. He would get the 126 595
TBR.
TBR.
So um, that's off catalog, right? TBR and
Yeah,
GMT Daytona 12659.
this is
Okay,
it.
so that's rose gold. Yeah, off
Rose gold
catalog.
with baguette diamonds. Well, trapezoid diamonds on the bezel, baguette diamonds on the dial, and then brilliant diamonds, I believe, on
Right.
the lugs and.
I don't know if he's over budget. I know a lot of these off catalog Daytonas now are just insane. Like there was a new blue one that was featured on
It's not
Rolex.
off catalog. Okay, maybe it does say. Um, oh, 141. Yeah,
Wow. Okay, that's a lot of money.
it is. It is. But it's still not quarter million in and of itself, right?
Yeah.
And
Just
the
just to
other,
clarify,
yeah,
this is like basically $90,000 more than a full gold rose gold Daytona. Like
yeah.
it's $90,000 of diamonds, or
I
at
mean,
least.
again, at the end of the day, precious metal, the diamonds, no matter how high quality they are, how special the cuts are, these are ways of brands to premiumize their product, right? To justify those
Yeah.
big leaps at price points.
Hmm.
So it doesn't surprise me that this is more than three times as expensive. Well, three times as expensive
Yeah.
as
But
a.
but culturally, right? People can't be looking at this. So I'm not criticizing your choice. Lovely choice. You got the money, or you got the imagination. Go for it, sure. But I mean, culturally, I think people have got to be shying away from diamonds soon, if not already. As in, they just see them as like they're not that
Mm.
valuable anymore. Like if I see someone who has like big chains of diamonds or something like that, I'm not going to assume that they paid for natural diamonds, because if I assume that, I'm assuming they're an idiot, basically. I mean, but it's still cool. I mean, things look the way they do. That's still cool. It's just you don't need to pay that much for it.
Look, I actually have. It's become pretty popular in Los Angeles. Like you have boutiques with like luxury jewelry boutiques that specialize in lab grown diamonds. And I have a friend, in fact, who is a jeweler and who's opening an extension to his store that will be dedicated to high end jewelry with lab grown diamonds. So the concept is it has more than taken off.
Yeah.
So it's
I bought my wife a whole stack of diamond jewelry last Christmas. I was like, yeah, it's cheap. I mean, to me, I feel like it's a race. Yeah, the prices are racing to the bottom, but before you know it, people are just not going to really look at diamonds as anything anymore. That's what I think. I've asked other people, and they think, no, diamonds are diamonds. They still look great.
I think honestly, I will make the contrarian argument here, sticking just to the watch space. I think just like the whole business model is based on this strong feeling of nostalgia and the throwback quality, even obsolete quality of mechanical watches. I wouldn't be surprised that the watch industry, when it comes to premium brands, will continue to stick to real diamonds, just to make that segment distinction that they are true luxury as opposed to, because again, they are justifying such steep leaps in price with gem set pieces. They wouldn't want to give that up so easily.
I'll be right back.
Patek Chris says, when you love a watch so much, you need to get a gem set iteration of it. Yeah, that's a good justification for that Daytona. And this was the GMT Master that he chose, if I'm not mistaken, 126 718 GR and R, gris noir. And of course, 8 is for yellow gold. And that's the Tiger Eye dial. Yeah, I think we have accomplished.
Does anyone
This.
know what this means? Oh, I gotta get into it. There we
Oh,
go.
wait.
Oyster L Eco.
Guys,
TST.
we are running out of time. Only 8 minutes left, and we are still missing 4 super chats of $4.99 or more for the unboxing, which I guess is not going to happen tonight, which is not a problem. Of course, we can always save it for another night, and Oz will happily save it for his own channel, so not a problem. Patek Chris says, I haven't seen this GMT in the metal yet. I might see it and conclude it as a dial face only its mother could love. When it comes to these sorts of pieces with natural stone dials, honestly, it's really the luck of the draw. You might actually love a particular kind of stone so much that it might not matter to you, but in most instances, the variation is so significant that you might love it or hate it. With meteorite, it's the same, right? The striations are so random that it's not always the same satisfying results.
I think I know what it is. I just looked it up. I'm not gonna say, but yeah, if it is what it is, then wow. Congrats, man.
Van Lux says Breitling will use lab-grown diamonds. Yeah, I mean Tag Heuer uses lab-grown diamonds a lot in the line. Um, some of the smaller brands started using lab-grown diamonds in their special releases. I think Furlan Marie just did a Disco Volante style watch with lab-grown diamonds on the dial. With an onyx style set with lab-grown diamonds right here, and it's in fact one of the GPHG pieces in the, I think in the Petite Aiguille category. Oh, it didn't make it to the final. It was one of the submitted watches for that, but it didn't make it to one of the final 6. And this atrocity did, and this thing did. All right,
Oh shit!
Chris Ford did. Interesting, but this is what I was talking about when I said it looks like a Nomos, right? Of course, this is a more complicated version of the club sport, but that's what I had in mind when I said 1926 looks like a Nomos.
Oh, I thought that too. Actually,
Yeah.
that because of the
Look, I think it fits their larger brand image, Van Lux, because they were one of the first to also reduce packaging and presentation material. Essentially, they only give you a travel case, which again, I don't, it reminds me of these policies that hotels have these days, right? They're trying to save the nature, which just means that they refuse to give you fresh linen and towels and clean your room on a daily basis when you're staying with them. And to me, again, your mileage may vary. To me, that's as far away from luxury as you can get. Um, I don't think that's what a luxury watch brand should do. But if you are the kind of brand, yes, that moves away from presentation boxes and have an ecological rhetoric that goes with that, I'm sure lab-grown diamonds fits with that aura, with that aesthetic, um, with that marketing shtick, but it doesn't do it for me.
I
And I
mean,
like a lot.
Rolex's box is like recyclable, minimalist in comparison to almost all the other brands.
Yeah, but it still has some character. Again, I'm one of the, I criticize Rolex a lot too, because again, they have Rolex does a lot of things to preserve brand identity, right? And I think some of it is actually too much of a compromise, right? When you have such a variegated lineup, I feel like some of these things deserve different kinds of presentation boxes, not just a bigger box.
And they used to.
Yeah. So
They used to.
I don't know.
Yeah, I saw my friend's Tridor day date. Its box was just like very, very elaborate.
That was not everybody might know that. So let's pull up an example.
Yeah, it was a Tridor day date with a Tahitian mother of pearl dial. Very choice piece.
That is very specific.
Yeah.
Did it have a diamond bezel as well, or?
I don't recall. I don't recall. But honestly, I think Rolex should go to lab grown diamond. Like I don't see
Yeah.
any point in running the mined diamonds. Like it just doesn't seem important.
I mean, Rolex having blood diamonds would be very, very chic, honestly, still.
Yeah, I'm guessing my friends had diamonds. It was yeah, but yeah, this is the Tridor.
Yeah, literally all three shades of gold are used in the execution of the piece, which you can most distinctly see on the center links of the classic president bracelet. White, yellow, pink.
This is some sad stuff.
Yes, yes. Well, it's kind of sad that I guess in comparison to the past of day dates that there aren't that many interesting day dates. Although they did have the puzzle dial,
Yeah.
the Carnelian, I think is the two interesting ones that are out at the moment.
And Carnelian is, of course, part of the catalog, right?
Yeah, yeah, it's current catalog.
Is it exclusive to any of the medals?
I do not remember.
Because some of them are.
You might get to it faster by doing the search.
This is not it. This is
Eisen.
Eisenkiesel, which is like what I want to call load, because it reminds me of that Metallica cover that they supposedly divide by some mix of different kinds of bodily fluids. Let's put it that way. Rolex Day-Date Carnelian dial.
I would just put it in the Rolex search. If you did Carnelian, it'd come up pretty quick.
Right. They have a search on their website.
Yeah.
That's true.
I would just do Carnelian. Yeah.
You were called Load once.
Huh?
You remember?
There we go.
Load explodes on JBJB.
Lord unloads. Yeah.
No, there was a clip on.
Yeah.
you
Isn't
know,
that Lord unloads?
no, like Marcelo made a clip like of you, and he wrote "Load explodes" on panel.
A load explodes. Well,
Instead of Lord, he wrote "Load." That was
yeah. I honestly, I wanted to. I'll certainly use that title if I ever have an OnlyFans for that specially exclusive clip.
yeah.
So it is basically only yellow 36 that has a carnelian. Huh?
Mhm.
That's what it looks like. I will just to simplify things, just write carnelian like you said. Yeah, it's only variations of Day-Date 36 in yellow gold. And this is the simplest version.
Oh, that's nice. I like it.
Saad is busy torturing Imran Khan for accepting a Rolex Milgauss as a bribe. This DD, the Eisenkiesel is load, and the Tiger Iron GMT is reload. Good one. I really didn't follow what Metallica has been doing musically, but I kind of like the fact that they turn the whole enterprise into a money printing machine at this point. Like they have anything from whiskey to cigars to owning actually their own vinyl plant. I heard where they print their own records.
Their latest album's really good. It's kind of a throwback. It's a lot more 80s Metallica than it is like finding something new. It's actually really, really good.
I'll check it out. I'll check. Although, Oz, I mean, I trust your word and judgment, but unfortunately, Metallica has been saying that exact thing for so many albums, like, and it's going to be a throwback album, and it's going to be the new Injustice for All, and and every time it's like, forget about how underwhelming the whole project ends up being. It's also as far away as you can get from 80s Metallica, and it's not. They should never promise that, and I don't expect that.
Oh, I don't
because
think they do. I just know that, like, my first SA, she's a Metallica fan, but she's a
Hmm.
very much, first couple albums Metallica fan.
yeah,
And I actually had to reach out to her and say, hey, you got to listen to the new album. It's actually good.
I mean, the reason I said they perhaps shouldn't or can't do that is because, like, when you listen to Kill 'Em All, for example, you can't record an album like that in year 2025, 2026. It's just, that's not the way people produce albums anymore. And when you try to replicate that lack of production in an artificial way, it just doesn't hit the same way, right? Doing something new, I accept that, actually, as long as you don't try to package it like, we are returning to our origins, or like, cut the bullshit. If you want to innovate, and that's fine.
Spot on. What happened in the 80s? You can't do it again.
No.
No, in no way. I mean, in any format, I think. Like, so stop saying. Just, it's influenced. We're trying, but it's not. What happened in '83 remains in '83. That's my opinion.
Yeah, it's true. And also, that I'm not gonna show my colors too much here, but a lot of that material is also carries Dave Mustaine's imprint too. So obviously they're not gonna, not having him on board, they're not gonna have the same kinds of songs to begin with. I'm not saying they are lesser for that, but it's just not going to be the same when it comes to Kill 'Em All specifically.
I think the best thing Metallica made is Megadeth.
So we are more or less on the same page with this year. I mean, I wouldn't go that far, but I like Megadeth just as much as what I like by Metallica, for sure.
We can enjoy both, and just it's great that like the differences made two great bands.
Guys, I think we are slowly going to wind down because I think, the goal already ended. And in this round, we got Patek Chris, but I don't want to leave without recognition, of course, Ryan Hoffrey becoming a member, this contributing earlier. Thank you so much, this. In the official currency of the channel. And Bezels, of course, being both a member and generously giving a super chat. And Patek Chris for not only giving a super chat, but also encouraging us to do a whole segment, building imaginary $250,000 collections at retail from Rolex. So thank you guys so much. Please don't forget to hit the like button. That always matters a lot. If you want to support the channel in other ways, I outlined some of them in the description, but you can, of course, always use the methods that YouTube provides you, super chats, super thanks, buying and gifting to others memberships, which give you access to exclusive content. Those are all things that you can consider. But hey, even in the absence of that, I love you. I appreciate you. Thank you for giving your time to this channel. And most importantly, thank you, Meech. Thank you, Oz. Thank you, This, for being with me tonight. Any last words, guys? Anything else you want to add?
I mean, I wanted to talk about a movie, but if we're wrapping things up, then I watched the new Paul Thomas Anderson movie.
You did. I don't, because I actually want to go and see that, and GQ reached out to me again and wants to pick my mind on DiCaprio specifically, and his watches and his Rolexes, his status as a Rolex testimony. So I do want to watch that movie specifically with that question in mind, and also, yeah, we can talk about it next time you come on
Yeah,
for that
sure.
reason. Because I mean, how can we talk about a movie without spoilers? I genuinely want to see it. This is one battle after another,
Yep.
with starring Leonardo DiCaprio, Tiana Taylor, Chase Infinity, and Regina Hall, I think.
Sean Penn, Benicio
Some-
del Toro, and
Ah,
some few other, yeah, good actors.
it's an ensemble cast basically. Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of heavyweights.
Mhm.
Although I appreciate Tiana Taylor as a musician. I don't think I've seen her act. I don't think this is her debut though. I think she has acted in other projects before. Anyway,
No,
it should be interesting.
yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much. I'll see you in the next one. Until then, stay safe, stay healthy, wear and enjoy your watches. Bye.